What's going on, everybody? Chris Vack, aka Nirvana Tool here, and I am excited to bring you some commentary of the top 8 from the Gen Con Ancients Championship. So starting us off, on the left, running Koryo's Bodak, we have Ace Egbert, and then on the right side, we have Graham Moyer. I can't believe I almost struggled saying Moyer, such a common name. Graham Moyer running Alisara. So, you know, we've got two wizards on wizards, but wizards doing very things. One's a necro, one's a summoner. Graham's the top seed of Swiss right now. He's the #1 seed going against the 8 seed Ace. Graham's deck with Alisara, the main purpose of it is to drop a Dragon Lord and put out Supremus and win that way. As you can see right now, his first two actions were play level 5 Paymaster Core and play a Blackwind, and now he's going to Rise and Obey, which will just search his deck for any character, reveal it, put it in his hand. So this is the kind of, you know, Graham's already on autopilot right now. He's going to go find another big dragon that's going to help him get an item. So we'll start showing these cards, but these guys are playing a little fast. I do have, I can, zoom in on some cards, and I will do that as I go along, but I want to do a little intro here while they're playing, but they get right to the action. So this is what Graham is trying to do. Ace, on the other hand, starting with the all-planner elf package that everyone knows with the Biting West Winds and Javin. Biting West Winds, they do a +6 range strike whenever a character falls or spends or stuns due to either falling or a card effect. So people have been doing some great things with them in terms of tempo. They can also play stab to do auto 22 wounds to melee strike to anybody. And then Javin is just, if you're going to attack it, they're going to attach to you and your rank's going to start falling. So it's defense and offense all in one. So with the Necro package, Ace wants to, play normal Warlord, which is, go aggressive on you, attack with melee strikes, and eventually just try and kill your army. So what we have here right now is Ace is trying to break the ranks, but Graham has already built it up. So we just saw an interesting interaction. So Paymaster Core has the Heerman's Epic equipped, and that's the one I'm going to actually pop up on the screen for you all so you can see. I'll be right with you. This is some high production value as always, but here we go. The Heerman's Epic is currently on Paymaster Core. That part with +1 actions doesn't matter, but basically you pick one of your characters and you replace it with a character from your deck 1 level higher. So he's trying to turn Flamefang, who's a level 7 dragon, into a Draxon Roll, the Dragon Lord. So that's really what this is trying to do. But we saw Ace used Wand of Negation to blank that item. Graham responded trying to rescue it, and Ace was able to cancel it since Alisara is spent, thanks to that old that Rise and Obey he cast before. So we see Ace being able to stop some crazy things from happening, and then we see the Orb of Drakenheim. So Paymaster Core, just being in the level 5 slot, is the one who's going to get these level 10 items that really make Graham's deck go very, makes the decks go, as they say. So, Graham is still, he really only has a Blackwind holding the ranks other than these Messiran traders who are doing work for him. But we see Koryos using his ability to kill an undead, make your next roll a 20, and your next melee strike roll a 20, but also using Sever the Flesh to return that Javin that he killed back to play. Doesn't cancel the death. It's just, hey, once you die, come on back. Sever the Flesh, one of the strongest cards in the Necromancer package for sure. And then, Ace. One thing is, while filming this, I kind of like joked around with Ace a lot with his games. It's like, I'm going to have to, you keep reading all these cards. Like, and that is the kind of player he is. He wants to make sure he knows every card the second it comes in, even if he doesn't rely on himself. He's like, let me read this to make sure. So he does that with a lot of cards that are almost obvious that a lot of people know what it is, but that'll kind of help us in terms of what we're going to show. So him just reading the Orb of Drakenkind, trying to make sure it does what it does. But here we see the end of turn 1. So Ace got a pretty good army. K-Pix ain't going to really do anything, can't touch any of those items from afar, but getting 2 Lost Brides who come in, and we can actually... Let's show Lost Bride, one of the best 4E cards ever made. That's right. I'll go as far as to say ever made. But you get basically a level 4 character that goes react. Once it enters play, draw a card. So not only do you get a character that secures the board, but you know you get to replace that card in your hand. And then she has healing abilities. She's an undead herself. So there's a lot that can be done there. But that just, you know, it just gets you card economy. So we see Paymaster using the Heerman's Epic to get Drax into play. Ace responds with Exhaustion, and he's doing that because he doesn't want Paymaster to be able to spend order with the Orb of Dragonkind to ready a dragon. So that's kind of like a preventative action right there. Orb of Dragonkind. Let's get that up there for you guys. So Graham does have a steep cost with this. He has one less card in his hand because of it. We can't tell to make sure. Yeah, I think I see... How many cards? You got 4 cards. All right, so I see a Supremacist sitting over there. But well, please ignore the sleeves that Graham has on, by the way. I have no idea what those are. I do not endorse them. That's all I know. But he just, you know, likes to put this on camera front and center. So we have big old Supremacist coming in for Graham. So his deck has done the thing that it is designed to do. Supremacist. Let's get him up here. Everyone knows this big old dragon. Just murders anything he touches, and he's really hard to kill. As you know, as you would for a big old dragon in the game. Oh, so Graham was confused why Alisar was spent. He hasn't done anything. Ace is checking the discard to do that. And Graham is right. Alisar didn't do anything. I don't know if he just forgot to ready him or what. And he's almost like he knew, because as he stuns the Supremacist, Ace responds with Paradigm Shift. This is a card on the restricted list. You can only want 1 copy of it in your deck. But let's show Paradigm Shift, because very powerful card. I've used it to many effect in my Warlord career. Before an illegal rank is fixed, target a character in that rank. That target must be the one who fixes ranks. So if you're throwing a big character from the back ranks and they're going past your Warlord, this is a way to pull the Warlord up. And with rank structure like Graham has, that puts Alisar in danger. Or, you know, with the Biting West Wind kind of sitting over there in the front rank, he can take his rain strike at Alisar now. And maybe you shoot around these big old dragons. So Paradigm Shift is huge. Huge play, especially because it also stops from the rank holders from getting forward. But Graham's able to work around that. Has Will-O-Wisp spend back to stun the Supremacist forward. And because Graham has Drax and rollout, his whole point is just let me get Supremacist up there, and then I'll be able to use Draxon to make Supremacist come online. Good old Drax and roll. Love this artwork. But just the order at the very bottom. Once per turn, ready a dragon. I don't know what the spacing issue is there and why that comma has a space before and after it, but this is just, you know, how it goes. But that is, and there's a lot of Dragon Lord drop decks. A lot of people have played Selene, do Marguerite instead of Draxon, but I think Graham has made the right choice. Draxon, I think, is the better call because of that ready ability. Other people are like, oh, well, you know, now my dragons can enter in a certain rank. That's like, doesn't matter. And there goes Draxon using the order to ready Supremacist. Yep, and Ace is like, uh-oh. He's like, I forgot Draxon does that. He's like, I thought I stopped that with the exhaustion on the orb. Well, it's like, well, you stopped one of them, not both. So Ace now has to take a look, because that Supremacist can do 5 + 9 range strikes that do 3 wounds a pop. So he's looking at his 4 characters in the back, one of which is his Warlord. And that math doesn't work out. If Graham hits all these strikes, he's getting a shot at his Warlord, and that could be the end of the game. What's helping him out, though, is that the Biting West Wind is planar. So Graham would have to roll even. Oh, and we missed it. Ace had played a rescue earlier in the turn and just forgot to attach it. That's the thing about rescue, which is really, it's stock has rised with the revisions of the targeting rules, with so many things being defined as targeting and whatever. Rescue has gained a lot of stock, and you see this card regularly in a lot of decks. So just everyone's got to remember, it's got to attach, and there's a hefty price of -5 skill for it. But we see Supremacist shooting. If Ace had another rescue, he'd be able to cancel this Supremacist shot on all 5 of them because the spend order is 1 action. But we see Supremacist. Boom. See Supremacist shooting out all these characters, gets a javelin for it. But I think that was all 5 shots. So he's no longer holding the ranks. So really only Blackwind is holding those ranks there between Alisar getting to the front. So it is kind of scary. So there we go. Graham sending Jackals just to put another character up there. Graham's ranks still are, you know, he shouldn't feel comfortable. So there we go, rolling the 20 on Blackwind. This kind of broadcasts that Ace is sitting on a stab. But we see the Flores Monster Guy, which is another one of the books. You basically spend it to search for a monster and put it into play. And that monster he's putting into play is Sithis Tech King, who he performs. He's got plus 15, plus 8. He's a big old level 6 suit tech who's somehow not unique. But basically, before anyone casts a spell well, there's a stab. But before anyone casts a spell or performs a range strike, suit tech punches them no matter where he's at. So we see Blackwind get stabbed as what Ace was broadcasting. Then, you know, the 20 from the javelin, then followed by the Westwind. That's how you get the 3 wounds there. So, but having Sithis there, Graham saw this kind of play pattern coming. Let me get more HP up there, using the book to get some HP to hold the ranks. And just waiting it out, hoping that Supremacist does his thing eventually. But Moore and Jackals also sitting there. You know, they're still good. Ace got a Dex Glint. Doesn't really help it when you have legal ranks. And we see Graham passing with 3 cards in his hand. Chucks everything. We see like a Rise of an Obey there. That might have been why he's asking, wait, why is Alisar spent? It's like, uh-oh. But the items are back online. Supremacist is still here. Supremacist is staring down that Warlord. So Ace better hope you get a rescue in this next hand. Otherwise, Supremacist is going to get hungry and eat. Matching 6s. Graham wins initiative with the 15, and he's about to he's going to stop it. He's like, screw it. You got rescue, you got it. He doesn't. So here we go. There's a 7 that's odd. 5 is odd. That was a 1. That's a 15. That's odd. That's 5 odds in a row. This is why Platter is so broken in this game, folks. Forcing people to roll even. Sometimes it's just, you know, you just keep losing coin flips. And then that happens to anyone. You know, they're fuming. Like, come on, you got to be kidding me. Graham is definitely not happy about that. It's like, all right, I should be at game 2 now. What the hell? But he's still got 5 more shots coming, thanks to Draxon, or if he's got the Orb of Dragonkind, depending on what Ace's next move is, you can do that. And you still got a whole lot more Supremacist shots here. So Ace just, you know, he's not really sure why he's alive. But now he's like, hold on, let me think about it. I didn't spend any time thinking before this. But now that you've missed all your shots, all right, let me see how this goes. So, Fighting Westwind showing Supremacist how to roll dice there. Getting that nat 20 on the Morn Jackals. And Graham, like, reload. I need to shoot again. So, Supremacist stands up. Now Ace is like, yeah, that's kind of a problem. So, what are we going to do about that, Ace? Do we have any answers? I mean, you didn't rescue the first one, so Graham already knows he's free. So, short of Alisar getting pulled to the front rank somehow, this is just what he's going to do. And also, and if anyone's wondering, you know, with the audio track here, I do kind of keep it in the background for ambient noise. I do keep it very low just so I don't want everybody hearing what everyone says. One thing that many might not realize about this is, like, at Gen Con, there's a lot of people standing around every game, like, talking. It can be really annoying. But there we go. You see Supremacist taking the shot, sniping out Corios for 3 wounds, and that's game 1. So game 1 goes to Graham. But yeah, like one of the things that like, obviously there's pressure in just being in the cut at, you know, the Ancients Championships. But there's always a lot of people standing around watching your game, and they can't stand still and just watch it. They all have to have conversations. I can tell you, and like that's some of the things I've noticed too. You know, I look back at some of the videos of myself, like in the cut, like I'm there, but then I got good old Midge and Bobby standing around, like, cracking jokes, telling stories, being loud, screaming, come on, let's go, because Midge just wants to go home. Like, that is very distracting to players. Kind of wish we would do something about it, but you can't, because, you know, right now it's very late. I think this cut started around 11, 12 at night, because event started at 6 p.m., played 5 rounds of Swiss, and then went to the top 8 cut. So it's pretty late, and people are already tired, exhausted, but they're still with friends, so all we're going to do is keep talking. But it gets harder for then the players to kind of focus. Not only are they fatigued, but they also have to deal with the elements. A while back, one of the ways that I kind of prepared for this, like me and Rogue Panda, for anyone who knows, he makes those custom alt arts. So check out Rogue Panda art if you want some promos. But he and I would kind of simulate crowd noise when we would play test sometimes way back when. Like we would just play a podcast at full max of like people talking, like volume as high as possible, just so you get used to playing in that element. That's kind of like football teams, like they'll simulate crowd noise whenever they're running their plays in practice just to do it. It's like, that's kind of where it originated from. It's absolutely insane, but it's just the kind of things that you think of, like, yeah, let's just do it. And here we go, game 2. Graham's starting off. He's got a lot of jersey regalia right now between the sleeves, and then the dice is a jersey dice that Sanjington was able to do when he ran a tournament here in Hoboken, New Jersey. So that dice is really sweet. We need more of those. But it's got a middle finger for a 1 and the New Jersey symbol for the 20. So Graham likes it because it is a quality dice. Either that or he secretly loves Jersey and just hasn't fully admitted it. But see, first action, Graham kind of taking a look. Why did he just spend back Morn Jackals and stun him? He just spent back Morn Jackals and stunned it as his turn? That was very weird. And then we see Dreadfang come in. Oh, I guess he's afraid of Morn Jackals getting pulled. That's why he's doing it. So pull the strings. Let's pop that bad boy up. That is a next level play by Graham. Pull the strings. Let's see. Pull the strings is a wizard action. DC 20 or I steal your character for the turn. It's got to be a lower level character though. So Graham realizes first action, I don't want to lose my level 2 character that's holding my ranks, because he's like looking at this. It's like that could really be clunky. Let me stun it to de-incentivize Ace from pulling the strings, because he doesn't get 2 strikes on Alisara anymore. But Graham doing a good job at building back his ranks. Dreadfang into Sithis Deck King. Meanwhile, Ace just worked on spending all of those Masiran traders. And then a Wanda negation on Alisara. But Ace also got the Jackals of Morn. Ace opting to attempt to exhaust off the wand, and Graham instead blinks away, and Ace has another paradigm shift. So before the illegal ranks can happen, paradigm shift will stun Alisara. And then here come the biting West Winds. Oof. Graham thinking he's playing Blink to save this, but then oof, bad things happen. I guess he really wanted that wand. In hindsight, you got to see like, okay, cool. I shouldn't go for the wand. Like, just let it go away. But I guess he figures that if Ace is going to exhaust it off, there's got to be a good juicy target for it. So he doesn't have Alisara's ability anymore. And Ace is still just kind of going to town. Can't tell what's in Graham's hand, but he'll stun Dreadfang forward. And then Ace sitting on 2 cards. Yeah, I know the paradigm shift being a 1x and seeing it twice already. Graham understands how statistics work, and he's really annoyed by it. In comes Blitzer, the good old Santa Slayer promo. It was a bribe, so useless in that situation. But Graham's going to need to find some more beef sticks. He's got Sith King, which is pretty good, but... Yep, you can hear people yelling in the background. That's good old Midge. I can hear him talking with marbles in his mouth. Graham going to take a second to think about it. Oh, it wasn't Graham's turn. It was Jackal. As you know, Jackal really does think at all of his moves. So Arnaus comes in. Oh, that's what it was. Graham went first action pass. So he didn't play anything from his opening hand. So then Ace came back with an Arnaus, and then he started swinging. Graham is still passing. Drew his whole hand, not playing anything. It's never a good sign to win initiative and say pass. So Ace is like equally confused by that. It's a good sign, and because I don't think Graham is incentivized to slow play anything. So he might have just absolutely nothing, or Graham's the things that Graham has. He just wants to wait until it gets into a certain point. Maybe that's when Ace is trying to figure it out, but it's not there. Dreadfang stuns up, and Ace forgets about his biting West Winds. Those West Winds should be shooting. But they're not. Said he's going with Jackals. 19 will hit. 17 just misses. 18 AC for the Sutek King. He's got a lot of defense. Graham continuing to pass. So Ace playing solitaire, putting some wounds on these guys. And there you go. There's more of that table talk. You hear Fick talking to Midge about everything that happened. Blitzer goes forward, just slowly working his way up there. Death Fog lets you get back a undead or monster. Graham does not have any options in there, so Death Fog is just all profit for Ace, bringing back his Javin. Biting West Wind moving forward, probably to say, I'm going to stab something. I'm trying to see some of the actions in his hand. We can't see it. Well, there's the stab. So, stab on the Biting West Wind. Let's get stab up just so you all can see that. This card has really been impactful for the meta here. Perform a melee strike that may only target a stun character, spent if you're an elf, which the Biting West Wind is, and inflicts an additional wound if it hits. If this character is a mercenary, the strike is a critical success. Biting West Wind being a mercenary elf because of the dual factionness in some 4Es really makes it so that he gets both benefits of stab. So it's a auto 20 on a spent character for 2 wounds. He's the only mercenary elf. Well, mercenary elf rogue. There's also the Howling East Wind and the Cutting North Wind. But either way, this being in a level 2 character who's already worth starting to begin with, has just increased in popularity recently, and really is the thing to look out for that people meta against. But Ace looking really good here as they move to turn 3. He's got a full army, and I see he's peaked and improved invisibility in Alisara's hands, so that could buy him some turns. But he did not win initiative, so we see Corios going for the pull on the Morn Jackals. So the way Morn Jackals becomes a character owned by Ace now, and the way that he gets a free move to rank 3, because the stealth rules say if you control a character that is beyond the last occupied rank of your opponent, they just get a free move. They don't have to spend, they don't fall, it's just, no, they can only go as far as the back. It's a very weird interaction. So when you pull the strings, the character gains stealth, and they are now a stealth character in the opposing ranks. So Warren Jackal's got a free move to 3. Graham probably doesn't have many level 4s in his deck, and all we see him is go with an improved invisibility on the Dreadfang just to hold the ranks. But we see Graham getting ready to shuffle. Maybe he's going to go looking for a level 4. So he shuffles a Shadow Blaze into his deck, and he goes and gets Ravika. Let's show some of these defensive cards that Graham is working with here. Good old Ravika. Another 4E promo. Basically has built-in Dark Card armor. But once returned, she can just discard a card to heal a wound. Or if the strike inflicts more of the wounds, she can like make it that it only inflicts 1. Super solid character, super defensive. So Graham has this to kind of keep Alisar around. And we just saw... Right here. So what we saw happen is Ace did a wound. He used Ravika to try and heal the wound. Ace is trying to rescue that. Healing does not target an opposing character, and rescue can only be used when one of your characters is targeted. So Ace, a little confused by that. And spoiler alert, you know, in future games too, you know, just in terms of other situations that are going to come up during this commentary as well, there are a lot of situations where Ace seems to forget what rescue does. But here we go. We got stunned Alisara up there. Thanks to the Morn Jackals taking out the Will-O-Wisp. And that Blitzer is just waiting to take a swing on her. That Paymaster Core comes in rank 4. Let me also show, you know, while I was looking at Ravika, let me show improved invisibility as well. Because this is a fun one. This is also a restricted card. Improved invisibility, just basically sit there and like that character cannot be targeted for 2 turns. And that's basically it. So basically you spend this and no way to interact with this character. So it holds your ranks for 2 turns. So that's why Ace is trying to go around it. He's got both Binding West Winds up top doing range strikes towards Alisara, who has 1 wound on her. And then that Blitzer up there, who can do spend order, perform a melee strike 2 ranks away, and he inflicts 2 wounds because he's a big hardy reindeer there. So Alisar is in trouble here. He's got Ravika to help out. Graham holds 1 card and refills his hand, but Ace very much in control for this matchup. Looking like we're about to go to a game 3, but Ace got to take a look. You know, if he has any ways to boost his attack. Right now, I don't think there's any ways to get Alisara out of the way of danger. Like, if she was improved invisibility, then this would be good, but then those ranks would be in danger, so... So we see Ace cast and improved visibility on his own on his Blitzer, which is a very perplexing play. Because once Blitzer targets another character, the improved invisibility ends. So why he would do that on his attacker who hasn't attacked yet is very confusing. But Graham's going to shuffle his Blackwind back into the deck. And go and find a Raven Wild. The old Game Trader promo for anyone who remembers that one. She'll help. I mean, she's great for redirection, but you know, you need other characters in the rank in order to kind of do that. So Ace answers with a Wheel of Death, which discards top 3 cards of his deck and then gives everybody in his front rank +6/+6. So, and then here we go, Blitzer spending with the improved, doing 2 wounds to Alisara. Why he cast the improved invisibility on there, if his plan was just to go Wheel of Death and do this, is weird. Wheel of Death technically doesn't affect Blitzer. Well, actually it does. Once, you know, once he becomes a character normally in the ranks, but it's weird. He rolled high enough anyway. It's a weird interaction. It's like, does Wheel target him? You can't target him with improved. But Flame Fang comes into play. Lets Graham go find a bodyguard. As he says, for AC bonus. Bodyguard prevents his... Basically, it's for Alisara to put on when she's in rank 3. So that characters more than 2 ranks away can't touch her. But exactly 2 ranks away is totally fine. So Alisara sitting in 2. Kind of rough, but Graham's trying to recover. Got his epic. He's ready to go with the Flame Fang to bring out Draxon. So he's starting to crawl back. Ace got to find a way to put that one more wound onto Alisara. So if those Biting West Winds do anything, then that will be what gives him the range strikes there. But here we go. We got Drax and Roll coming back into play. So Graham taking a look to see what Ace has as well. But all those characters sitting in that front rank can't do anything about that improved invisibility. Graham's in Power I formation, but Ace going to kill a Javan to make his next strike roll a 20. Stun up Kargaz. Graham is just passing at this point. And that's it. No point. You can't attack with anybody else. So Ace moving people up. Holds his 2 cards. One of which we see is a stab. And the other is a rescue. Graham getting some more cards. Looking for that Supremus. The improved invisibility is off. Ace wins initiative. And Blitzer taking a swing. And tries to blink away and instead rescue. And he does, and it's a natural 20 from Corios's carryover. So it'll do 2 wounds to Alisara, who only has 1 HP left. Even if you're Ravika, that's it. So Graham, okay, you got me. GG's. So Ace takes game 2. Going to free baseball, as we'd like to say. Going to the rubber match. So we got to see what's going to happen here. I'd say, each of those games, Graham was able to get online very fast game 1, but game 2, his whole plan got very disrupted. He started off strong, but Ace was able to just, your trick, I got my trick, I one up your trick, and that's it in terms of the exchange of the blink. But Graham looking back probably, just trying to blink away just to save that one negation, which turned out to be useless. In hindsight, that's probably just what broke his back, because then you can save that blink for the paradigm shift if they're going to try and target you with that. So that's really, I'd say, where Graham went wrong game 2. But now I know he's kind of aware of it, and it's like, well, he can't draw paradigm shift again game 3, right? You only get 1 in the deck. But that's it. So 1 out of 44 cards, unless Ace is one of those savages that run more than the minimum. But let's see. We see Ace drawing his cards. We see a pull the string. We see a severed. Graham, I can't really tell. I see a bunch of foil cards. And Ace starting off strong with initiative into a pull the strings for the Jackals. And the Jackals fail. So this is why Graham stunned his Morn Jackals first action. It almost looks like he's putting them into play, but no, he's using Alisara's ability, shuffling Draxon Roll back to go get Ravika, put her into rank 4 just to solidify the ranks. But that Morn Jackal is very beastly. Corios answering with a Staff of Secrets, which counters a whole lot of what Alisara is trying to do. Staff of Secrets. So cancels a lot of card draw, and the spend order would stop. So the react would be to do this. So Graham, responding with a meet at the end, it's kind of like, hey, you can cancel this, and then that's the one use of secrets off. He might have other card draw, but you know, you put that on Ace to kind of assess at this point with not a lot of information. It's action 3 of the game, so like, what, like, is there other draw that he has? Could it be a Rise of Obey? Could it be something else? But Ace trying to figure out he's got his dream start that he wants, but Ravika does hurt it. Graham running Ravika in this as like the emergency backup, like it's a very good call. I do like it a lot. And then here we go, Mysteran Traders fending off some Javelin strikes. Ravika taking a swing on the Morn Jackals, who have a high stealth roll thanks to pull the strings, but cancels that strike. Graham swinging with that, kind of weird. Means he doesn't have anything else. And then Graham spends Back Alley Tavern to draw a card. So he's got a whole lot of nothing. Here comes the 20 from the Morn Jackals there, and then the second strike on there. That will hit. And Alisar stuns. Ravika stuns. And then the West Winds are starting to shoot. And Jackal opting only to react with one, thinking that he'll have another option to react with them. I don't know if he will. So using those Javins to spend through, but Graham's passing, so he's got an awful hand. He is not in a good situation. Corio's playing the Helm of Undying. It's a way to kind of like recur some guys. Not sure that's really good in this situation. Corios hasn't played a character.
Let's go and use the helm. Okay. Kill this fighting West Wind. Yeah. We'll sever him into play. Grab and jab him.
There we go. So using the helm, killing that to get an equal lower character. Yeah, Javin goes to hand though, but that's a way to refresh your West Winds too, so that's good. Miss. We're about to see a very interesting interaction here. Those two West Winds still have their things, and it turns about to end. Morn Jackals is about to come back on Graham's side. We have Jackal setting up his biting West Wind. And so we pass and the turn ends. So pulse happens. Graham stuns Morn Jackals to 2. But here we go. Ace doesn't react. He's drawing his hand. Graham's got his hand.
I can react with my wins when you stun down more Jackals, correct?
And now Jackals is trying to say, wait, hold on. I can react with that. So Graham letting him rewind it back. This is huge. So, and if Graham had chosen to just move the Ravika forward instead of the Morn Jackals, there would be no trigger. So this is a really awkward situation, which now leads to Ace saying like, hey, I had Paradigm Shift too, so I would have moved your Warlord up. And I'm sitting right there like I'm confirming it. Like I knew he drew Paradigm Shift in his opening hand. But like now that take back just basically roasted Graham. So moral of the story here, folks, is if your opponent misses their triggers, make them like don't let them take it back. But either way, Oh, man. Ace had some fire coming, but that'll do it. Ace is able to get it. Taking out Graham. Graham not happy about it. The #1 seed is cursed again. And Ace takes it thanks to 3 paradigm shift in 3 games, which is absolutely crazy. But either way, we got to update that. And that'll do it. So Ace moves on to the top 4. For this video, that will conclude it as well. But we got more coming. Don't you worry, folks. Just, you know, thanks to Graham and Ace for letting us watch this. Stay tuned from the top 4. We'll be seeing more of Ace later. So until then, take it easy and have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.